If you are unable to get a good view of cross traffic when stopped at an intersection controlled by a stop sign, you should A. Wait 5 seconds, then proceed. B. Sound your horn before proceeding. C. Put down your windows, listen for traffic, and then proceed. D. Pull forward slowly, check for traffic and pedestrians, and proceed when clear. D. Pull forward slowly, check for traffic and pedestrians, and proceed when clear. When stopped at a stop sign where you cannot see cross traffic, yield to any pedestrians and then carefully pull forward past the stop line until you can see clearly. Check for traffic and pedestrians. Go ahead when the intersection is clear. On two-lane, two-way streets or highways, you should start left turns. A. Close to the center line. B. Close to the outside line. C. In the right lane. D. From any lane. A. Close to the center line. On two-lane, two-way streets or highways, you should make left turns from as close to the centerline as possible. This sign means A. Winding road. B. No parking. C. Right lane closed. D. Multiple turns. A. Winding road. Warning signs prepare drivers for upcoming road conditions and hazards and are usually yellow with black markings. This sign warns drivers that they are approaching a winding road and that they should adjust their speed accordingly. If an aggressive driver cuts you off, you should A. Call the police immediately. B. Stay calm and move out of the aggressive driver's way. C. Flash your vehicle's lights to let the aggressive driver know he is wrong. D. Use a driving action of your own to get back at the aggressive driver. B. Stay calm and move out of the aggressive driver's way. If an aggressive driver cuts you off on the roadway, stay calm and get out of their way. Trying to get even with an aggressive driver risks escalating the situation and increasing the danger.
Want to ace your DMV test? Click on the link below and get your guaranteed cheat sheet.
If you are under age 21 and are convicted of carrying a false ID card, you will be required to pay a $500 fine and your license will be suspended for 90 days. A. Only if your blood alcohol content (BAC) is 0.02% or higher. B. Even if you were not driving. C. Only if you were driving at the time of arrest. D. Only if your blood alcohol content (BAC) is 0.02% or higher and you were driving at the time of arrest. B. Even if you were not driving. Even if you are not driving, your driving privilege will be suspended if you are under 21 years of age and are convicted of possessing alcohol, lying about your age to obtain alcohol, or carrying a false ID card. The minimum penalties include a fine of $500, plus court costs, and a 90-day license suspension for the first offense. This sign tells you that A. No turns are allowed on this road. B. The road narrows ahead. C. There are a series of curves ahead. D. The road may be slippery when wet. C. There are a series of curves ahead. This sign warns of an upcoming winding road with 3 or more curves. When driving on slick roads, you should A. Take turns more slowly than usual. B. Change lanes quickly. C. Accelerate quickly. D. Brake hard. A. take turns more slowly than usual. While it is always dangerous to drive too fast on slippery roads, this is especially true when driving in turns and curves. Be sure to approach them more slowly in slippery conditions than you would under normal circumstances. When you see this black and yellow sign, it means A. The road to the right is for one-way traffic only. B. That due to upcoming roadwork, there is a detour to the right. C. Slow down because the road ahead changes direction at an extreme angle. D. There is a crossroad to your right. C. Slow down because the road ahead changes direction at an extreme angle. This sign indicates that the road ahead changes direction at an extreme angle, in this case, to the right. Before you reach such an extreme curve, you should slow down as much as you would when making a turn at an intersection. When you drive through an area where children are playing, you should expect them: A. To know when it is safe to cross the street. B. To stop at the curb before crossing the street. C. To run out in front of you without looking. D. Not to cross the street unless they are with an adult. The effect that lack of sleep has on your safe driving ability is the same as A. The effect that alcohol has. B. The effect that amphetamines have. C. The effect that anger has. D. The effect that driving with teenagers has. A. The effect that alcohol has. Fatigue and being under the influence of alcohol have similar effects on your ability to drive safely. For example, being awake for 18 hours impairs your driving about as much as a blood alcohol level of 0.05%. Being awake for 24 hours in a row has the same effect on your driving as a blood alcohol level of 0.10%. When passing another vehicle on a road with two lanes traveling in opposite directions, you should: A. Return to the driving lane when there's enough room between you and the vehicle you passed. B. Remain in the left lane if you intend to turn left. C. Return to the right side of the roadway immediately. D. Drive in either lane. A. Return to the driving lane when there's enough room between you and the vehicle you passed. When passing another vehicle on a two-lane roadway, you must return to the right side of the roadway when there is enough room between you and the vehicle you have passed. This sign shows one type of A. Intersection. B. Road curve. C. Right turn. D. Lane change. A. Intersection. This sign indicates that an intersection with a crossing road is ahead. Roads become very slippery? A. When it has been raining for an hour or more. B. The day after it rains. C. For the first 10 to 15 minutes of a rainstorm. D. Right after the rain has stopped. C. For the first 10 to 15 minutes of a rainstorm. Pavement can become very slippery within the first 10 to 15 minutes of a rainstorm because the rain causes oil in the asphalt to rise to the surface of the road. This problem becomes even worse in hot weather. The heat combined with the water causes more oil to rise to the road surface. You may turn left on a red light if A. There is no traffic coming from the opposite direction. B. You are turning from a two-way street onto a one-way street. C. You are turning from a one-way street onto another one-way street. D. The car in front of you turns left. C. You are turning from a one-way street onto another one-way street. You may turn left after stopping at a red light if you are in the left lane of a one-way street and are turning onto another one-way street, unless a posted sign prohibits it. You must first stop and yield to pedestrians and other traffic. Before passing another vehicle, you should A. Flash your headlights to alert the driver. B. Turn on your four-way flashers to warn the driver. C. Give the proper turn signal to show that you are changing lanes. D. Sound your horn to get the driver's attention. C. Give the proper turn signal to show that you are changing lanes. Before passing, make sure the passing lane is clear and activate the proper turn signal to show you are going to change lanes. Signal early enough for other drivers to know your plans in advance. What is the meaning of this sign? A. The traffic signal ahead is displaying a red light. B. The traffic signal ahead is broken. C. The traffic signal ahead is displaying a green light. D. There is a traffic signal ahead. D. There is a traffic signal ahead. This sign indicates that there is a traffic signal at the intersection ahead. When exiting a highway, you should slow down. A. On the main road, just before the exit lane. B. Once you see a toll booth. C. Once you have moved into the exit lane. D. When you first see the exit sign. C. Once you have moved into the exit lane. When exiting a highway, you should get into the exit lane well in advance. Do not begin to slow down until after you have moved into the exit lane. People under 16 years of age who use a false identification card to buy alcohol will A. Receive a driving suspension that starts on their 16th birthday. B. Not be able to take the driver's exam until their 21st birthday. C. Receive a driving suspension that starts on their 21st birthday. D. Be sent to an alcohol safety education class. A. Receive a driving suspension that starts on their 16th birthday. Even if you are not driving, your driving privilege will be suspended if you are under 21 years of age and are convicted of possessing alcohol, lying about your age to obtain alcohol, or carrying a false ID card. If you are under 16 years of age, your suspension will not begin until your 16th birthday.